Maybe that'll work. Is the microphone working? It shows that it's working, but I can't hear anything coming out of it. So let's hope that that's turning the volume up. I can hear myself now. I wonder if it's working in TikTok now. Sorry guys, we will get to drawing in just a few moments. I'm trying to check audio here. Looks like everything is now working without this headset on, which is ideal. Because frankly, the headset just makes me sweaty. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make a quick TikTok video here to say that we're live. Just wanted you guys to know that we are now going live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time. Find me somewhere and come watch. We're going to draw some cool stuff, I hope. Just wanted you guys to know. Just wanted you guys. Hey, there's that. Welcome, Diamond. Good to see you. We're going to draw some stuff today. We're going to start out with hopefully just a quick sketch, really, of Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, as requested by somebody, I don't remember who, on one of my TikTok videos. We'll be starting out with the 6.5 millimeter graphite. So we're gonna, let's see, got some reference images over here. the fun part of Mr. Fantastic is he's very stretchy. So start with the head. Head will go something like that. We're going to have a shoulder here, maybe a little more behind the head. We'll put a bicep here, and we'll put, let's put his arm like this into his hand here. Give him some fingers. Something like that. From the head, we will have a pec and another pec, kind of up at an angle, because we're going to put a shoulder here, to a bicep here, and because we care more about composition than we do really anything, we're going to put a hand here, put a big hand, right, palm of the hand right there, and then we'll put the thumb here, and then put a finger and a finger and a finger and a finger. And we know that fingers have 3 pads on them. So we'll give them 3 finger pads. I don't like the way that looks at all. So we'll just hit our Control Z here, back out of that. Let's do let's bring the pinky this way. Like this. We'll put finger pads in here. Welcome, Meow. Welcome, Artist Tigress and King Doja Pluto. Then from this hand, we know there has to be a forearm, and it'll need to be attached to this, but thankfully, because Mr. Fantastic is super stretchy, we can do, his thumb is at a wild angle, the thumb more like this. And we can bring the forearm down like that. And then we will have armpits and the back of the shoulder. We'll go down to the rib cage area, abdomen, and then we'll give him a belt line. Bring that up a little bit so it looks like he's running, and then we'll give him a groin. And this leg will want to come down into a knee and into a foot. And back over here, we'll put this one kind of going backwards. Right? A little smaller. With a knee, and then calf muscles and a foot. Looks like this might be a little too bright. I don't know how to fix that. But rib cage, right? Something like this. We know the pecs have to flex upward. There's the nose, there's the mouth, and he's got kind of a big forehead and a little bit of a haircut, right? And the ears on the side, because you can kind of see him. Now we have the brunt of our gestures done. We can go in and start refining our shapes. Find a smaller pencil. Let's do this 0.7. If I have any lead. Do I have lead in a pencil here somewhere? 0.3. Lots of 0.3 pencils. I don't think we need a 0.3 yet, do we? That's a 0.7, that's a 0.3. What's this one? There we go. This one has a high lead in it. Let's go with this pencil. Now we're going to switch over to this Graph Gear 1000. I appreciate the share there, Meow. For the record, we are on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok at the same time. I've got 3 different windows open. And if I get any more than just the one viewer, I will be jumping back and forth trying to keep up with any chat that may occur. But, you know, it is there. So, on our head, we're going to have a jawline. And he's got kind of a square jawline. So we'll give him a little bit of a thing. And then we're going to go up to cheekbones. And then we will have our eyes. And a nose. Put a mouth right there. And then we will give him, he has like a swoosh thing. Oh, you're fine, Meow. I just appreciate you being here. Was it you that suggested Mr. Fantastic? I feel like it was you that suggested this guy. A couple little dingle hairs there, the cowlick. I think he's got too much jawline here. Put back a little bit of his jaw out. His mouth needs to be a little more, huh? Got a little teeth in there. Give him some eyeballs so he doesn't sit here looking creepy at me the whole time. Gotta have some neck. Right, and then he's got like a crude, like a sweater thing on, right? Little neck shadow. I think this is going to be black. I am drawing Mr. Fantastic. I believe it was you that recommended that on one of my TikTok posts. Could be wrong. I guess I can go find out.
Nope.
Let's see. Profile videos. This one. Comments. It was you. We're drawing Mr. Fantastic because Meow said to draw Mr. Fantastic. That's what we're doing. He also is going to have this 4 on his chest, right? Let's see. Oh, this is all visible. What is ringing in there, Mama?
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I just was curious what it was. Up in here. You know, some people, they just need things, you know. You needed a Mr. Fantastic. We're going to get one done. I am trying to sketch it kind of quickly, though. So this one probably won't enter the phase of color. It'll probably just be black and white. Three pads. 1, 2, 3. And another finger out here. A couple of them back here so you can see that he's not AI, he has all of his digits. And I believe, let's see, he's got gloves, or something like that. I believe they're like a dark blue. And we'll do a rib cage here. And come down to a lat, I believe. And this is where his belt line will be. And over here we'll have a little bit of neck, and then the shoulder comes in here. Something like this. Rib cage. Mr. Fantastic's not the most buff guy in the world, so we don't have to do a crazy amount of musculature. Sort of an armpit. And from here we will do stretchy bicep. Like this, and you have the front half and the top half of the arm. And then from here we will go to our gigantic stretched out reaching fist. Don't like that at all. We'll just change the shape. Something like that, maybe? I'm getting other messages to which I must look. Oh, what in the world? I've got one viewer on YouTube. I don't think I have anybody on Twitch. I don't think anybody will ever watch on Twitch. Twitch kind of sucks. I don't really propagate any views to anything. So for the hand, we're gonna bring it in a little bit here. It doesn't need to be quite this ridiculous. Something like this. And then you'll have the bottom of the thumb, and then we'll bring down the thumb in like that. And then you have a knuckle. And then we can get rid of these sketch lines because we don't need those anymore. I don't consider pencil to be a sketch, really. I consider pencil to be, and this is something I learned from Jim Lee, is that pencil is more of a gesture for the sketch. So after we're done with this, we'll hit it with some fine liners and really define our sketch a lot better. Get a knuckle there, another knuckle here, and then a third finger pad there. That looks kind of bad, but we will get there in just a bit. Finger pads should be rounded, right? Basically circles. We're not drawing fingers, we are essentially drawing circles. You have a little bit of a gap on that finger. You come out to a knuckle, and another knuckle, and then a third finger pad. Something like this. Right, we draw a circle, or an oval, I guess. An oval. And then this one circle, circle. Perhaps knuckle, knuckle, and then a finger pad, finger pad, finger pad, and the pinky finger pad goes right into the palm pad, which this is all going to be blacked in really, but palm pads go something like that. The hand will come kind of more like that. And again, this is the part that makes Mr. Fantastic sort of fun and easy to draw, is because you don't have to worry about nearly as much anatomy, because the guy is stretchy. You can put him wherever and however you want. And then here he has a belt. And then we will need sort of the hip area, and that will go into the crotch. Everybody likes to draw the crotch. And that will come straight up there, and I do believe he is also in his underwear, like every good superhero should be. Belt is blacked in. It's a black belt. He's a black belt in all the things. And then I feel like this leg needs to be brought down more of a straight kind of thing to a kneecap, and then back underneath him for running. So bring this leg down, and you have that giant muscle that wraps the knee. And then a little bit of inner thigh, bringing it down like that. That looks pretty alright. And then from here we will have our calf. And sort of an exaggerated curve on the leg to show that he is running, and then an ankle, right? He's gonna have an ankle. And then nobody cares about feet. Something like that. Yes, yes. Comments, concerns? Don't be afraid to say hi. And then this leg, we're going to bring it back even farther, because what we want to do is show him running. Bring it in a little bit more here like this. These lines are ridiculous. Bringing the knee in here. We don't need a whole lot of knee because you really can't see it. And the calf will be like that, and then we'll bring the foot up. I'm going to make that foot smaller. Probably need to make this calf smaller, in fact, because it's further in the background. Now TikTok isn't seeing the chat. There we go. Something like that. Now is the part where we decide where is the light coming from. See, this guy's some decent eyebrows here, right? And a little more definition in his nose. This is very, what do you call it? Beavis and Butthead-esque. Where are my microns? What did I do with them? Ah. Well, yeah, this one's for you. So, I'm going to need you to go ahead at some point and DM me a mailing address. Because after I get done with this, I'm going to put it in the mail, and you're going to get it. And you're going to have your sketch of Mr. Fantastic. So now we're going to make these, is this marker working? Kinda. We're going to make these lines a little more permanent. Jawline here. It's in a little bit. This is the time we can make all these nice adjustments to things. However, they become a little more permanent since we're doing this with a micron pen. It does have white hair, so we'll give him a little streak of white on the side. And gonna eat it after I survive. You gonna eat this? That's fine. Oh, Coffee Streambot has posted a link to my coffee page on Twitch. So his nose is a little wonky. I don't really like it. Bring it up just a hair. We are going to assume, if I can find my eraser, we are going to assume that the light is coming from the back side of him, as is pretty standard for most illustrations like this, a good solid backlight. Which would give him a bit of a nose shadow here. Right? And then you would have this cheek shadow would be a little more robust. As well as this eye might actually be a little dark. But we will deal with that later. Bring this jawline here. Give him some shading under his lip. Looks a little gross, but whatever. We're doing this in a hurry. See what that looks like in there. Give him his little dingle hair. I work in an office vibe. And we've got kind of that comb over thing going on here. Give him a little cowlick. Hello Aurora, thank you for the follow. Sketch 20, thank you for the follow. If you can't tell, we are drawing Mr. Fantastic for Meow. Got this collared shirt on here that's going to be black. We're just going to black the whole thing in because it's black. And then we'll give him a little bit of under the chin rendering. Because that will be in shadow. The light's going to go behind him. Got to make sure I check all these other windows. Let's see here. And the shoulder and just a hair. And then our peck. Something like that. Audrey Heartburns, welcome to the show. Let's bring in this arm like that. We'll pop this out to the elbow. And if you notice, we're not necessarily using our pencil as an exact image. We are using our pencil as a gesture, and we are focused on shapes more than we are an arm or a head. I'm not a big proponent of trying to rush an illustration either. I'm not trying to get a job working for Marvel or whatever where we have to crank out 35 pages a day kind of thing. We're just here to have fun. But I am trying to draw a little faster than I normally do. Normally something like this I would spend a few days and really refine it. Finger there, and a finger there, and there's no need for any more fingers. These can be in black because the light direction, and this will be just edge lit so you can see that there's a finger there. And then this hand, all we're doing now is filling in areas that we want in shadow. And this is really probably the wrong marker for this, because if you use something a little bulkier to bulk in these shadows, but we'll get there. Bring in some shadows here, because these globes are dark. What you doing, bud?
Going upstairs.
Okay. Then we have bring a little rendering here, because that's going to be in shadow as well, probably. Right? I've heard Jim Lee say it before. If in doubt, black it out. He also said he doesn't necessarily agree with that statement, but you know, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because what we're doing is focusing on the shadows of things. Have a couple lines here. It's peck. We gotta have the 4 in here. And then I wish I had something round and small, but I don't, so I'll have to freehand this circle. Not the greatest. Like that. Rib cage that we will darken in just a hair because shadows. So what got y'all worn out there, Meow? What are you trying to survive? This hair is also dark. There's a little rim lighting here. Two are watching me over on YouTube. All right, who we got over there? Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to say anything? I appreciate some comments. Feel like I'm talking to nobody. A little bit of abs. Like that. This is really probably too big of a marker for a lot of the smaller stuff here, but we'll keep going anyway. Actually, I'm going to get a bigger marker. Grab this brush. Fill in some of this other stuff here pretty quick. Super suits ought to have a belly button on them because, you know, they're all tight. Rib cage casts a bit of a shadow here. That looks like crap. Back to the pec and shoulder. And our stretchy arm, neck out. Probably need to have a little bit of shadow here where the shoulder goes. This is the bicep where it connects to the tricep on the inside of the arm. And then we'll have armpit kind of goes here. And then need to bring this in because this looks weird. Something like that. Tricep shape in. A lot of that's going to be in shadow too. No commenters yet. Bring our arm into play. And this can have some bulkier lines because it needs to be a bit more important in the frame, right? This sort of glove line in here. Okay, let's go back down here to this stuff. Let's get a crotch in here. Little fabric folds. Fabric folds are the bane of my existence right now. This is a, yes. These are delicious. But it's empty now. For my backup beverage, I have a lime liquid death. And blot out this because there's no need to have a massive bulge on the guy. Ridiculous. Hello, Cheyenne Rose, Sario. I don't know if I said that right or not. Hopefully I did. Putting this leg down. And again, we're not here to draw arms and legs. We're here to draw shapes and shadows. Makes drawing a ton easier when you don't think about having to draw a hand or a leg or a foot or whatever. You're just drawing a circle and a triangle, and you know, this is going to have a little bit of shadow on the bottom of it. Does that make sense? Bring in a little edge lighting here because there would be something, right? And then this would have a little bit of shadow too. The kneecap. Let's see. A bit of a kneecap here. A bit of a kneecap here. And this is our over-exaggerated leg to show that he is running. We can't forget his boot. Something like this. And his other calf. And we gotta have shin bones, which would kind of be like this. And this calf muscle right here. Oh, Burns the Rogue. Cap should cast a shadow. Which runs down the leg. And then that leg will be probably blacked out, I would imagine. And then this one still feels like it needs to be a little smaller. To bring it back. Of course I got another message, let me check. kneecap, and our leg into our foot. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on some of this business. If I don't, it'll bother me the rest of the time I'm drawing. Get these shapes solidified. We'll just do something like this. Right? Song could have been better. Couple little ribs in here. Let's see. That's probably got to be darkened in. What does our light affect? Well, it will definitely get the bottom of his arm. It will probably get top of his bicep here will be in what do you call it? Rimlet. The bottom of this arm, we'll get there in just a moment. Let's work on this hand, because this hand is kind of daunting. The pad of the hand is sort of stretched out because of the shape. I can't get my thumb to do that, but if you imagine drawing a hand like that, so the pad of the hand is flattened out. And this is probably more like that. I think I know why my hand looks weird. Back a lot of that. I'm gonna go back to pencil for just a minute. We're gonna break break out the little Bertha. The pinky should start more like this, off of that, a little bit closer to that pad. Right, and then the top of this finger, we should have sort of this type of effect going on, where we have this shape with this shape and this shape. And our fingers. Yikes. Knuckle to knuckle to knuckle. Bit of a line there, and then we'll go into another pad. Which really should get bigger as they come towards us, right? Because they're coming towards the screen. I don't like those at all. Put our hand pad back in here. So if we do, let's see. Something like that, right? This should be the end of the finger. This should be the end of the finger. This should be the end of the, oh, that's too far out there. This should be the end of the finger. And this should be the end of the finger. Pad, 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 pad. And connect them together. And ta-da, we have a hand. Nobody likes drawing hands. But without hands, you can't see what the heck we're doing. Finger tip into a knuckle, into a knuckle. These gesture lines back on here. Okay. Forget pencil. Let's just make it. Let's make it happen. Back to our point one. Okay, so now we have a knuckle, and we're bringing that down into the thumb. And we know the thumb is here. And the thumb rolls out. Like that. So a bit of stretch line there. The stretch line can go towards the palm. Then sorry, I have to keep up with all the chat windows. Something like that. Maybe. And then we know there's a knuckle back there. And a knuckle there. And a knuckle there. We'll come in here. A finger pad. A finger pad. Bam! This line will be there. And a lot of that will have to be blacked in because of shadows being cast from our light. So this is all going to be blacked in because that's the bottom side of the arm where there is no light. And then let's see, this part of the hand. Comes out to this part of the hand. The bottoms of these finger pads ought to be dark. Again, we're not drawing fingers, we're just drawing shapes. If you guys don't watch Jim Lee, you're losing out. Jim Lee is our generation's Bob Ross. And if you ever wanted to know where I learned how to draw from, can't direct you anywhere else. It'd be Jim Lee. 100% recommend going to watch him draw. Obviously not while I'm drawing, of course, but you know. A little bit of rendering here and there. Add a little depth to the character. Oh, coal. hooking in. Let's see. Not bad. Let's clean this dude up. See if we missed anything. We already missed some of the hand there. Now, meow, if you're still hanging out, make sure you go DM me a mailing address so I can send you this thing. Otherwise, it's just going to sit here on the shelf and take up space in my house whenever I'm done. I know I said I wasn't going to color this, but I think I might doodle with these acrylic markers a little bit anyway. Let's see. Let's figure out. I have a scrap paper here somewhere. Scrap paper. That's a Mr. Fantastic blue. I've not done really much of anything with these acrylic markers yet, so this is kind of interesting. These things are super opaque. But we can fix problems here if we so choose. Oh, Alyssa. Little hand of Osiris. These acrylic markers are almost like cheating. My gosh. You have to be cognizant of your line work when you use these things. These things are crazy cool, man. They're so opaque. They go cover right over my line work. Which means you really have to watch what you're doing. And thanks for joining, Pippi. Good to see you. Normally, I color with alcohol markers because they essentially drop right in behind your line work. When I got on here, I wasn't actually planning on coloring. So I thought, you know, got these things. Let me just experiment for a minute. Get a nice base coat. I'll find one that's a little darker. That's a little darker enough. Thanks for the share. Appreciate that. That's basically the same color. Darker blue, maybe? That's a little darker. We can work with that. Maybe we can't. That's no darker. Okay. Man. How about this guy? There we go. What were we doing? Oh yeah, colored in this hand. I think we'll still have to come back in with the black marker though, fix some of this stuff. But pretty sweet. Sort of experimentation here. Of course, I'm getting more messages. 1 second. Why do I care about joining the gardening thing? Just new follow-up messages. Apologize about that. Erasers aren't going to help me anymore. Get this black out of here. I do sell my originals. They're all kind of based on media size and the complexity of the piece, really. But did you have one you wanted to purchase? Oh yeah, you can definitely purchase an original if you would like, or if you have something you would like commissioned. Totally take that on for you. if you have a budget in mind and let me know what that is, I'm always happy to work within a budget too. If it's possible, you know. I'm actually pretty open on commissions right now. I don't have anything lined up. I have not been fortunate enough to pick up many lately, but I am trying to pick up a few. So, yeah. This glove section we will do in the darker blue. The thing I find that I'm disliking about these particular markers is that they the wide tip is it's kind of tough to get it sort of fine enough where it feels like a 0.5 or something. It's very much a chunky boy. But I will say the opacity level is phenomenal. They kind of are a brush tip, but even the finest touch is still probably the same as like a 1mm pencil. Like it's chunky. I mean, I'm barely touching the paper. Now if I wanted to go wider and cover more area at once, that's totally doable. That's great. But when you're having to watch your line work this close, that brush tip is still pretty bulky. And this is also like a 8.5 by 11 paper, so it's already a lot smaller. I'm used to working on like 11 by 17 or bigger. A lot of the originals that you guys have seen me do, I think the smallest I've done so far, well, no, I think I've done a 5 by 7 portrait of Mabel. But most of them are 9 by 12s or 11 by 17s. A lot of the earlier stuff that I did on here was 14 by 17. And I've got some 24 by 18 or something like that, I think. What I'm really worried about here is going to be the skin tone. And there's no such thing as an accident. Well, howdy, I'm getting blown up all of a sudden. filling a poster board. Yeah, I'm sure that would. Some of the big stuff, man, like, did you see the portrait of Mabel I did? I think I posted that in the Discord. That's on 11 by 17. And the marker I decided to use was very, very low on ink. That was a pretty hefty patience test. I'm going to come back in here and find, it looks like a white and a lighter blue also. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Go run your errand. Hopefully I'll see you again. If not, then I very much thank you for being here and interacting and supporting the stream. I'm hoping, and we're about to find out if this is a thing or not. I'm hoping I can go back over this with my microns. It works. Heck yeah, boys. Well, looks like I've got a chat that is spamming me with dumb stuff over on Twitch. The TikTok family here, y'all don't have to see that stuff because it's being streamed separately. Let me see if we can find a, what we got, like a little more pale blue maybe? How's that? That will probably work. Man, freehanding a circle. My goodness. I think we're gonna keep, let's see, this one. It just really negates the need for cross-hatching, doesn't it? Meow, did you leave me for dinner? There's definitely a bit of a learning curve to these things. Feels like I'm all alone. We've got 3 people watching me on YouTube, though. You guys are being awful quiet. Questions, comments, any kind of interaction is awesome. Metallica and Tortellini. Thanks for joining. Set those guys there, and then we need to do a highlight color. Good highlight for blue is yellow. Let's see how this one works out. That's pretty yellow. Add some shapes back in here. Nine watching me. And nobody's talking over here on YouTube? My goodness. How's everybody doing tonight? One. Went from 9 to 1 and no seconds flat. I feel like the bicep has a little bit of highlight, but not as much because it's being occluded by the hand. Right? And then we have a little bit of that guy. And we'll bring in some of this yellow here. This will be a highlight. meow if they're still around. I want to make sure I can send you this. Alright, let's figure out some skin tones. That's pretty skin tony. Ear, neck. Very, very light skin tone is what this is. We're going to need something a little more pink, a little more robust skin tone. That's not very pink. Find something a little more on the... I don't know exactly what we're looking for, but it's definitely not those. Oh, there's Brandy. I figured she'd be on here at some point. Brandy is kind of a superhero. You know what? This looks even more skin tone. There we go. I like that. Okay. Sometimes these markers leave a little chunkiness to the drawing. I'm not sure how to counteract yet. And also, while the opacity of these is very, very awesome, it's also kind of obnoxious sometimes. Because I don't know how in the world you blend them. I'm guessing just layers. How was the walk, Randy? Probably something I should do. Taking walks. Wow, 3 hours getting to read. That feels pretty good. I actually stayed home from work today because my son is sick, running a fever. You couldn't tell right now because he's upstairs running around like a crackhead. What is darker than this 630? I feel like we need a little bit of a... Maybe this one? Ooh, yeah. This really gives it that retro comic book feel. That's a pretty good one. You can't see yourself going into work. There's no need to be there. It's pretty funny, actually. Hey, Odin. Odin.
Yeah.
I'm still live streaming, bud. I wonder if one day he will pay attention to things. Listen, I had a good chuckle at that. Hey, Odin. Odin.
Hold on.
I'm still live streaming, dude. Hey, Odin. Don't make me tell you again. I do like how this black is different than the Micron black. So why'd you really stay home from work? Just really didn't want to go? If I'd known you were going to be home from work, I could have harassed you all day. Hey, Odin.
Yeah.
I'm still streaming right here.
Yeah.
You got to take that stuff upstairs. And if I have to come up there and get on you for screaming,
Well, Dad, I can't play it anymore, which I wish I can.
did your mom say it's time for bed?
Yeah, I just
Well, it is.
really want
It is 8 o'clock, so it is your time to go to bed.
I love you.
You gonna come give me a hug? Oh my gosh, you're on camera and you got all the abs. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I love you. You need to get some sleep so you can go to school tomorrow. Welcome back, Pippi. Welcome back. Hold on a moment, I gotta go block somebody on Twitch. If I can figure out how. How do I moderate? Don't know how to moderate. I definitely don't want to pin that message. Is there a way to moderate my... No, ma'am. This is Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. He is not one of my characters at all. How do I moderate the chat? I have filtering in. Yeah, the filling in of the suit is real quick and easy. I've still got to do a little bit more shading, but I'm trying to figure out how to block somebody or delete a comment or something on Twitch because I got a bot that spammed a thing. Somehow it just pinned it. Hello, Kiwi. Is Kiwi in here? I don't see a Kiwi. I need to just make Brandy my moderator. Subs only chat. Can't get rid of the message. Predictions, quick actions. I don't know what any of these things are. Moderator settings. Nope. Don't care to reply to it. Why is it pinned? Delete the message. There we go. Okay, I feel better now. Alright, where were we? Back to Mr. Fantastic. Sorry about the, I mean, nobody watches me on Twitch. I could just not stream there. I'm also currently streaming, that's not the right highlight. I'm streaming also to YouTube. I used to shoot YouTube videos a lot, and thought I would try to resurrect my channel. So I am live streaming there, but there's no viewers. Nobody cared to come back. I'm gonna have to start posting like regular videos again. Yeah, actually, if you look up Deadlance on YouTube, you can see all of my old leather work, and I used to shoot photography and cinematography content. I've done some 48-hour films that are still on there. I don't plan on deleting any of that stuff. I'm just gonna try to revive it and keep right on trucking right over it. But yeah, it's youtube.com/Deadlance, actually, I think. Let me see. This laptop is very, very old. It's either Deadlance or Deadlance Steamworks. I think it's Deadlance Steamworks. It is, yes. I think that's right. Might be wrong. Brandy's like, go back to coloring. I honestly can't believe I've been on this piece as long as I have already. I was trying to do this in like 20 minutes. But, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. Especially with these markers. And I've never drawn Mr. Fantastic before, so that's pretty sweet. I think he's come out okay. My wife is blowing me up. She wants me to make sure I end my stream at 9. So we are going to try to make sure we're out of here at 9. Missing a little bit. Yeah, if you decide to follow me on YouTube, that'd be awesome. Can always use more subscribers there. I'm actually getting close to being able to be monetized there, which would be really cool. I need watch hours. That's kind of the big holdup over there. I have enough subscribers, but I do not have the watch hours. I think I also have to start posting shorts, but I can do that the same as the TikTok videos. So that's not a big deal necessarily. Though I've never really been a big fan of the short format videos, but if that's what they require, then that's not a big deal. Post TikTok and then post it over there right afterwards, I guess. I feel like I just want to put a color stripe in this thing. Just for the sake of having some kind of background in it. And it doesn't have to be crazy, I guess. We can just do whatever. After a little background. Right? Just a happy little background. Something quick and low effort. Something orange would be sick. We could do orange. Let me figure out where I set my ruler. I'm not going to do anything hyper detailed, but I think what I'm going to do is just exaggerate the motion line of what's going on. So we'll do something like let's see. That looks like where we're coming from, right? So if we put a dot here for a perspective line, so then we would have a perspective line going that way and a perspective line going this way, because that's where we're running, right? Which also means that if I wanted to exaggerate this, I could do something like this. We just want low effort here. Low effort. And that's pretty low effort. Just something, just a stripe, right? Let's do, just gonna wing it. We're just gonna wing it. This would actually be a lot faster with the alcohol markers because they have a broader tip. I have got to get a new computer. Am I coming through laggy to you guys? This is probably where I should untape my paper and turn it upside down. See if we can murder this whole pen in one crappy background. It's funny how many people keep popping into YouTube and then vanishing. It's almost like they're coming from TikTok at the rate they're popping in. Yep, this is going to take a bit. These acrylic markers are pretty small. But they are very, they don't leave a lot of lines like the alcohol markers do, so I don't have to go over them a bunch. That's kind of nice. But they are small. They were big earlier when I was trying to do fine details. Now they're tiny when I'm trying to cover a background. You have to be real careful because they are very opaque and they will cover up everything in a heartbeat. I hope this is orange enough for you, Pippi. It's very orange. I'm going to have to pop this free from my tape. So I can get the underside of this head without murdering my line work. It does leave some lines in the paint when you go fast, though. Probably need to fix that. Gonna have me in here working on this thing all night, making it hyper detailed, which is actually kind of a funny thing to talk about. Hyper detail is not always the best thing to do. Sometimes less is more, right? Because when you hint at something, the imagination will fill it in. We don't always have to over detail our photos or images. What's up, Jesse? Look at this gangster finally joining the stream. Pretty sure this is half Jesse's fault I'm doing this crap in the first place. Mr. Fantastic was requested tonight from the Fantastic Four. So I am appeasing the viewer who's not even here anymore. Yeah, you take responsibility for it. I'm gonna have to put you to work making my art make money. Jesse was the one who originally, a couple of years ago, I guess, probably more than a couple at this point, was trying to talk me into doing TikTok back when I was doing leather work. And one of the people really harassing me about putting my artwork out there because, you know, he thinks I'm an idiot. Uh-oh, hold on, I gotta solve a puzzle. Hopefully I get it in time. Nope, that ain't it. I missed. Computer's running too slow. Catch up, Mr. Computer. Catch up. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, every so often TikTok decides I don't need to be live anymore because it thinks I'm being like I'm inactive and sitting here, so it makes me solve a puzzle in order to continue my live. And I'm on the world's slowest laptop because all it has to do is stream. And so it's very laggy. Like everything on this computer is laggy. I need a new computer. We have Pippi to thank for me doing this background in orange. Now, this is a new medium for me. I have never used acrylic marker before, so this is first time for this. I do like them. I don't know that I like them for coloring as much. You can't really... They don't shade like the alcohol markers do. They have abrupt endings at the layers, so there's no fading or gradients between multiple colors or shades or whatever, so... It's very much that 80s style of coloring. I am currently streaming to my Leatherwork YouTube channel and to Twitch at the same time. I don't have anybody viewing over on either of those. But I'm gonna just start streaming. I can't do the leatherwork stuff much, man. My my hands, my gout, my arthritis, all that stuff, like, it's got me pretty good. I do miss doing the costumes and stuff though. So if ever there's a time I can do a photo shoot or something like that, I'll probably put some stuff over there for it. We do need to make you a corset. And I could definitely film that and put it over there. The only real downside is that, like, with YouTube especially, you really want to stay in your niche. Oh heck, I probably have most of the stuff that's on that list already. I think I'm going to go with a different orange for the bottom part of this thing. Jesse's crazy. This dude's trying to sell me out. That's a lot of orange right there. That's a better orange. I'll tell you what, Jesse, when you move back down here to help me work on this rat rod, I'll start doing leather work again. I did do the glove at the shop, yes, that was me. I'm pretty sure you've seen some of my leatherwork stuff. You've seen the pictures of my wife in the snow in the Viking outfit, I thought. I made all that outfit. I did the paper mache corset. I've done a bunch of leather corsets. What else? I did like a weird Silent Hill costume once, which was made out of a single painter's drop cloth. I've made several gauntlets over the years. I made one that had 27 blue LEDs in it and 3 bottles of Dawn dish soap being lit up by those LEDs. I miss going to conventions, but I tell you what, man, there's no, like, you can make a lot of money in a weekend, but I don't think I was making enough money to live off of it without going to work also. And leather is really expensive for me to just be willy-nilly making stuff now. Like, you could drop $1,000 on a side of leather and never sell any of it. More bot spam on Twitch and YouTube. Nothing offensive this time though. This orange is nowhere near as smooth as the last one was. This is very blotchy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Guy named Meow is the one that requested it on another TikTok post I made where I said give me 6 characters and I would do fan art of them. This was one of the suggestions. The other one that was suggested was Merida, I don't know what her name is. The girl from Brave. But I'll have to go back and do some research because I can't really remember what she looks like. And don't get me wrong, Mr. Fantastic is pretty straightforward and his anatomy is moderately irrelevant. So it's hard to mess this guy up. But I'm going to start doing a little more fan art on. Might get to take it to Scottish TikTok. That's funny. That's true. She was a redhead. I remember that much. Lots of crazy curly red hair. I was going to try to draw her after this, but my wife definitively wants me to get off of here on time, and which is fine because I have to go to work in the morning. So I've got like 10 minutes left. I'm happy enough with it. There's the spot that won't erase. Don't know what that is. Let's see. Finishing touches maybe? Let's see. Yeah. Have a little bit of a white outline here because they can pop off this background a little bit. I used to wear a kilt all the time. Those things are comfortable. This is the most tedious part of this whole drawing. Putting this white on here. I'm not like those other guys though when they wear their kilts with no underwear. I wear them with sweatpants under them. So I feel like that's more appropriate. Trying to be conservative and modest, you know. Sweatpants and flip-flops. Oh, marker. I don't know when you're done yet. Can't run out now. You're a modest librarian. Very conservative lady. And that's what I appreciate about you. Come on. I'll come back to that. I think it's pulling the paint up. It sounded good, right? Like me saying that you know, that's what makes me a nice guy, right? I'm going to need you to get good at graphic design, Brandy. I think that's it. That looks like it. Looks good enough for this stream anyway. Quickie 3-hour sketch. Let me get this tape off of here. Let's see what this sucker looks like. Won't stay on my table. The paper's bent. Dare you say fantastic? Is it though? What color is this dude's eyes? Anybody know what color Mr. Fantastic's eyes are? What color are Mr. Fantastic's eyes? Brown eyes. Brown eyes. Do I have a brown micron? So the guy that wanted me to draw this thing, his name is Meow. He's actually been most of the time watches me. Wow, that's really dark. Most of the time he watches me on here. I'm going to send it to him because I feel like he deserves it. Eventually what I would like to do is get to where I'm fast enough that I can do 2 items per stream and do 1 raffle and then 1 giveaway, or like a silent auction. But yeah, I'm definitely all about giving some artwork away. My table's being crazy. Oh, let me get an autograph on this thing so that the sad, sad world knows who did it. And there we go. We have a Mr. Fantastic. Now I gotta shoot some crappy footage for the actual TikTok. Let me turn this a little more. I can't get it far enough away from the camera, even though it's a dang GoPro. Well, that's probably fine. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot a couple of clips of this thing, upload them to the TikTok channel, and then I'm going to go to bed because that's what's being demanded of me now. So, again, Meow, if you want this thing, send me a DM with your mailing address in it so I can put it in the mail for you. If anybody else is watching over here on Twitch or YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe. Share the channel with your homies. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Jesse, I love you. Brandy, I love you. Y'all stay gangster.